Hello and welcome to the presentation for Work Package 4.3, Data Overviews and Subsetting. In this video, we will give a brief introduction of what this project is about, followed by an overview of the typical workflow, going from dataset overview to filtering for a subset and downloading the subset for further analysis locally. Finally, there will be a few links to documentation to help you get started. Getting to grips with large datasets can be a daunting task that takes a lot of time at the start of a research process. In the DARIAH-FI Work Package 4.3, we have explored building a more standardized solution for this problem that was so far typically dealt with using ad hoc approaches. We've built an infrastructure solution with Elasticsearch and Kibana that provides both a robust API backend and a user interface frontend on top of that. This package is deployed on CSC's RACHDI service, and we are in the process of adding the various datasets produced as part of this DARIAH-FI project to our system there. The system can also be replicated, and our code for both deploying the software and for indexing the data is openly available. Next, let's have a look at the typical pipeline of getting a data overview, selecting a subset from it, and downloading that subset for further processing locally. We start with exploring the dataset in Kibana. Kibana provides two main views for this. First is the dashboard view, which we'll see on the next slide, enabling getting an overview of the datasets through visualizations. And then there's the discover view followed. The next slides, providing a way of further filtering that data and inspecting the selected values. The dashboard view looks like this. The example here is a large social media dataset with hundreds of millions of entries. We've constructed a visualization mosaic in the dashboard view of Kibana here. The visualizations are very quick to set up and they don't require any coding. This whole view can be built in less than half an hour. We can filter the results here with filtering controls towards the top of the page. Here we've filtered the datasets to only include terms with NATO appearing in the text.content field. We can also save the filters for later use through the menu. To more closely explore the data and to prepare a subset for download, we want to move on to the discover view. We can do that using a visualization in the dashboard as a starting point, or we can move to the discover view from the menu in the top left area. The discover view looks like this. In the main viewing area, bottom right, you see a browsable sample of data entries matching our filters. On the left, you see a list of all the fields in data, and you can add or remove those to be displayed on the right. You also see a timeline of the filter data. That's the graph on the top of the data display area. And on top of that, you have controls for further filtering the data. The filters we set in dashboard view carry over to the discover view, and you can further modify those and refine them if you like. When you're happy with your filters, you can move on to downloading the data from the options on the top right. Choose inspect, number one, then request, number two. This will show the Elasticsearch API request that produces your filtered dataset. And finally, copy that snippet of JSON to the clipboard with a copy button, number three. We have an example Python script in our repo. The link is on the next page. This script uses a Python wrapper for Elasticsearch API. Links to wrappers of other programming languages can be found in the Elasticsearch documentation, depending on the size of the datasets you're dealing with. There might be a few variations in the implementation, but they should be covered by the example script. The basic procedure is like this. You paste the text you copied from the discover view into a new JSON file. Maybe you modify that file slightly. Instructions of this are included in the comments of the example script. And then you add a reference to that JSON file in your script, run the script, and you're done. Here are the links you may find useful when using the system. The most important one is the first one, our GitHub repository, with documentation on how to access the datasets and the example data download scripts. The other links are to documentation for Elasticsearch API Python wrapper and for Elasticsearch API and for Kibana. Thank you.